Priya, I love nuts, and the nuts I'm going to use are pistachio nuts. Really, really delicious. And you can see these pistachio nuts have been ground down and they are ready to use. But before we get started on them, you're going to get started on making the nice, fluffy mixture of eggs and sugar. Crack them up into the bowl there.
Can do.
4 eggs and that sugar there. Whisk it all up till it's nice and fluffy. It'll keep you busy for at least 5 or 10 minutes.
I can
And
imagine.
also help you to burn off a lot of energy because you'll need to burn off energy to soak up this cake because it's so delicious, you're going to want another piece, I guarantee you.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to start off with a couple of cups of panko breadcrumbs here. These are dried breadcrumbs and they are ready to go. And this forms the basis of the whole dish. And into that, I'll put my pistachio nuts. I love pistachio nuts. They're really expensive. So if you want to, you can actually do half pistachio nuts and half almonds or pecan nuts or cashew nuts, whatever nuts you want, or even macadamia nuts. They're also delicious. And also Indigenous Australian nuts as well, which
there
are
you go.
fantastic. Now, to that, I'll add some baking powder as well to give it a little bit of lift and make it light and fluffy, just like me. How you going there?
I'm good.
The arm is just whisking.
It is.
Yeah, we're going to be here for a while. Now, if you're at home, you can use a kitchen device that you plug in and whiz it up. But I reckon doing it by hand like that is just so much better.
Or you can invite Priya over and
just-
she'll do it for you.
Exactly. I'm just loving the elbow up in the air like that. Now, I've got some cinnamon here, a little pinch of cinnamon there to
Nice.
give it some spice. And also some nutmeg, a little sprinkle of nutmeg. The arm's going really well.
It is, but the nutmeg is quite a strong flavour. When I cook with nutmeg, you need to use just a little bit because
Yes.
it's quite powerful.
It is. But this will be a really strong dish. And I just mix this around really gently so it all comes together. And I'm using my little delicate nana fingers that just sort of combine all those lovely ingredients. Now,
Okay.
I reckon by the time I've combined all this together, you should have that nice and fluffy. Too much, isn't it? Would you like me to do that?
would.
All right, I'll swap that over. You mix that up. I'll whisk these up and get this nice and fluffy. And by the time I've got this nice and fluffy, I'll show you how to put this cake together.
Great.
Okay, Priya, this is whisked up nice and fluffy. You like that, don't you?
I do. Well done.
Now, this is mixed together beautifully, and what I'll do now is just fold the egg and the sugar together. In fact, I'm going to hand that to you, and you
Oh,
can start
yes,
folding
folding.
that together.
My expertise.
Exactly. Can you smell the flavour in there already?
The pistachio nuts smell beautiful.
Aromatic and fragrant. And I smell that. That is orange blossom water. You can pick that up in most supermarkets, but a little drizzle of that gives it that Middle Eastern flavour, which is what this is all about. And of course, to make it even more luscious and delicious, some melted butter in there. Fold all that through there,
I thought that
Priya.
was orange juice. I had a real, for a moment there, I was like, oh, Richo, orange juice. But no, it's butter. Okay.
But believe me, once it's got the butter in there, it's going to make it taste so delicious.
Okay.
And then we just need to taste it with our finger. I could eat it straight out of the bowl here. Nice and thick and nutty and all the flavours I like. In it goes into a lined tray. I've lined it with baking paper on the bottom and the sides to make sure that it comes out nice and easily, really important. Now, pop that over there. Now, you would think that it's finished like this, but it's not because I'm going to use my secret ingredient, which is filo pastry. Out it comes of the box. You like that?
Okay.
Now, the filo pastry is what gives it a really crusty layer on the top. So I've got some melted butter in the pot here, and I just give it a brush like this. And Priya, you're going to do the next step.
Yes.
Once I've got this, fold it over like that, and then you're going to tuck it in, just like that, straight on the top there. And you can just fold it over like that. So you just do that one, and I'll brush the next one. So like a team action. So I'll get this one
There's
here.
going to be multiple layers of this.
Yes.
Quite flaky.
Yes, that's what's going to make it really nice.
Okay.
But it's one of the most soft, delicate pastries I've ever used, and it's beautiful. Just make sure you butter the top of it, and that will tuck in nicely. Now, Priya, that's going to go into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. It'll take about 40 minutes to cook. It'll set through the middle. We'll let it cool down. We'll open it up, cut into it. It will be delicious.
I'm excited.
I am too. Ready to go, Priya? You like that?
Beautiful. I love the flaky pastry on top.
I like crunch. You know, it's nice to have a nice soft cake like a cheesecake. Nothing beats a really good crunch. And I want you to listen to this. Is that crunchy?
Is that the sound of heaven for you, Richo?
That is. That's the crunchy heaven. I'll just slide it off there.
Perfect.
You can see this is cut all the way through, cooked beautifully. And that lovely crunch and that filo pastry on top. I'll just grab that out. Looks fantastic.
does.
Pistachio has really given it an amazing colour. Now, I've got a little bit of date molasses that I'll drizzle over the top here. You like that?
Wow.
You're liking that, aren't
The
you?
fanciness. I really love the colour of the pistachio and I assume the texture is going to be quite nice, but I quite like this whole phyllo flakiness on top and the soft cake at the bottom.
Exactly. You know, there's nothing to a simple dessert like this and a little bit of icing sugar on top because I have to, you know, fluff it up a little bit.
Okay.
But these are little things, you know, you take a simple cake and you can turn it into a beautiful dessert. If you've got a lot of people coming around and you want to make something nice, and dessert's always important, and people usually get stuck with dessert.
Yes.
So this is another great way of making it really simple. Throw some berries on there, throw some cream. You know I'm torturing you because I know you want to
I know,
taste it,
I'm
don't you?
waiting. I'm waiting for the
Okay,
Gavin Rich
just
toast.
suck straight into that.
Have a go.
Get straight into that.
Beautiful.
Oh, look at that. Now I'm just going to go for the end piece here. Some crunch, some of that date molasses on there. Look at that. And plenty of that phyllo pastry. Nice and sweet. Still very moist, isn't it?
The flavour is beautiful. I love the pistachio nut. I wouldn't have thought of that in a cake, but I absolutely love it.
Thank you.